Hey guys, it's J19 brought to you another video, and today we got exciting news. Final Fantasy VII Remake Revisited Chapter 18, Destiny's Crossroads. We got some new updates for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I told you guys I'd be back with more Rebirth videos, and here we go. This is the start. They were going through each chapter, which I didn't really cover any of that. They didn't really have a whole lot there. But this is big. This is juicy. Gives us a little insight of what's going on with Rebirth. And the dev is teasing changes in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yes, you guys heard me right. Changes in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is huge. Because back in July they talked about how the story of Final Fantasy VII, they know they can't really change anything. They know that they're gonna have to leave everything in there. They can't omit anything. But they did mention there's a mystery with Zack. So, before we go into this article on the Square Enix website here, if you guys do me a big favor, like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification so you know if I can go live or upload my next video. Or if you guys want more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth news, updates, live reactions, playthroughs, and whatnot. This is exciting times. We're finally getting some more information about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, even if it's through the revisiting the chapters of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1. So with that said, I'm going to switch gears and we will get going into watching this. So here we go. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Remake, Revisited Chapter 18, Destiny's Crossroad. We're taking a deep dive into the 18th chapter of Final Fantasy VII Remake with a wonderful development team who brought the game to life. This was posted earlier today, Friday, October 14th. As you guys can tell, that's a sick shot. Sephiroth and Cloud. Spoilers, by the way. We will be reading about Chapter 18. So if you have not watched or played or even know what's going on with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I would advise you to turn away from this video now. But if you guys want to just say screw it, let's just look at it. Let's keep going. With that said, let's go. This year is Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary, and the celebration had begun. As part of the ongoing festivities, the development team behind Final Fantasy VII Remake had graciously agreed to dive deeper into the game than ever before. We've been revisiting their thoughts, memories, and anecdotes from the creation of the game. Check out the first and most recent chapters here. So, right there, we can go back and read all those later. I'll probably check those out on my own. But we're going to cover this. This is big. This is huge for Rebirth. If you're yet to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, go and play it now. If you read on, please be aware of spoilers. With a warning out of the way, let's mosey. So as again, Square themselves will say, hey, you haven't played this game. Don't read this article. Go play the game. And I advise you guys to play it. It's a very good JRPG game. It's got nominated for Game of the Year in 2020 for a reason. It's not a fluke. So, with that said, let's get out of the way. I can't drink my water first. This is big. I don't want to lose my voice. Midgar Expressway is an incredible track featuring motifs from across the Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy VII Remake soundtrack. How much work went into creating this piece of music? Was it one of the hardest pieces to work on? I remember that putting together the first arrangement demo for the crazy motorcycle bit at the beginning of the Midgar Expressway probably didn't even take a week to do. Wow. I thought that keeping the BPM of 190 but changing the motifs in the subsequent parts would really be tricky, but when I actually go down to working on it, the power of momentum from the visuals guided me and I managed to create these sections without too much of a headache. That's awesome. The feeling of being in the zone when I'm working on this track was a valuable experience and really sticks in my memory. So this is the music guy. He helped with part of the music in this game. Featuring guitars in all different sections of the Midgar Expressway was one that I was quite particular about. I decided to use the Advent Children versions from the section Those Who Fight and Let the Battles Begin. That's cool. That's sick. Yeah, as you guys see, that's sick. Why was a Motorball boss added into the Motorbike minigame as opposed to being a separate boss fight in the original Final Fantasy VII? Was there ever a time it was a separate boss fight? That is a great question. The original script, written up by Mr. Najima actually had the last section of the game go from the motorball battle to the Whisper Harbinger and finally the ending. Midgar, midway through the development, we changed direction to make Sephiroth the final boss of this title and felt that having these 3 bosses in a row would spoil the tempo. Accordingly, we decided to use Motorball as the boss of the G-Bike section just before the final boss fights instead. Which, to me, it makes sense because you're on the motorcycle fighting Motorball. It's not like, hang on guys, let's get off the bikes and stuff, let's fight them on land. I mean on the road. I thought it was pretty neat. A lot of people didn't really care for it. I thought it was neat. I like it. You can see right there. That's still a sick shot. This is one of the most beautiful games ever made. Whisper, Rebirth, Verde, and Procio seem to represent Kajaj, Laws, and Yaozu from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, fighting to save their own future, referencing the entries that appear after using the SS material on each. Is this true? The Whispers are capable of forming monsters from all memories in the flow of time. I think that includes the characters who exist or won't exist in the timeline as well. That right there, guys, this right here is huge. That's not just because Laws caused, Kajaj, Laws, and Yaozu were fighting to protect their future. It was the Whispers forming into them, kind of, but their own separate ways. Yeah, that's why. These ain't actual legit, these 3 guys from Advent Children. These are Whispers that took their personalities and stuff and made themselves into these, which is really mind blowing. I thought it was fighting like representation of them. We are in a way, but it's Whispers. They're fighting to protect what? Their own lives and the fate, right? The fate of the planet. Next, the party are shown memories of the future as told. Oh, here we go. As told in the original Final Fantasy VII, was there ever concern that this wouldn't be obvious to fans playing Remake with no prior knowledge of the... Wouldn't be obvious to fans prior knowledge of Final Fantasy VII. Cloud and team do not really understand what they're seeing in the scene, where they are granted memories of the future either, so it's fine if the full meaning behind the visions is not communicated to the player. So that makes sense. These characters don't know, so they're confirming, basically, guys, that Aerith don't even know the future. Like, all these characters don't even know what's going on in the future. Like, she don't know about, like Zack being alive. Like, Red 13 don't know about his cubs yet. Like, all these characters don't even know what the future scenes mean. Like, Cloud don't even know what's going to happen to Aerith. That is like something else, guys. Midgar Highway stage was created specifically for the motorbike riding section. I remember it was a large map. It must have been made in quite a different way to the regular stages of the game. Were there any difficulties or challenges in creating the highway? It was hard work placing these clusters of buildings across such a wide area to match with the layout of Midgar, and a challenge unique to working within the setting. We constantly needed to check the compass direction to prevent the landscape of deviating from the map of the city, asking ourselves what direction does Shunya building should be visible from, where the position of the plate that forms the player's final destination should be. Yeah, that took a lot of work. Get another drink of water. The Battle with Sephiroth features various phases, differing party members depending on the conditions set throughout the story. Crazy camera angles throughout. How difficult was it to pull this all together? There were numerous mechanics and systems specifically made for this battle. It was one of the ones that we took a lot of care on, as well as one of the trickiest to pull off. There were a lot of bugs that needed fixing, and it took a long time to make overall. I bet. That was a sick-ass fight. Guys. One Winged Angel Rebirth is another wonderful arrangement of one of the most famous music tracks in video game history. What was it like being entrusted to arrange this track in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and how pleased are you with how it came out? One Winged Angel is one of the most important tracks in the whole life my whole life. So when I was asked to arrange it, I felt a great responsibility to make a good version, even if I had to use the rest of my life to do it. Yeah, I felt sorry for that guy. He's like, oh, I feel honored, but whew. It goes without saying that I like everything the original composer, Mr. Nobuo Uematsu, has done. I also love Mr. Shiro Hamaguchi's orchestration of One Winged Angel. So the music of these two creators had a massive influence on me, I bet. Definitely. Two of the most biggest composers there. When I set out to do my new version of the track, I first searched out what kind of arrangement would make the version of One Winged Angel that would satisfy me personally. Something to not damage any of the numerous appealing factors of the original, and most importantly, something that would not disappoint me or corrupt my childhood memories of hearing it. So yeah, he's a fan of the original game. As the track name One Winged Angel Rebirth implies, the key word to explain this new arrangement is rebirth. Here we go, guys. Rebirth. Right? Rebirth. Just setting this up. What's the name of part 2? Rebirth. So let's continue. I mentioned this in the Ultimania guide, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Material Ultimania, too. But I remember seeing a comment by Mr. Uematsu, somewhere in which he talked about how he approached the original composition by first creating a number of different motifs and then trying to piece them all together in the manner of a puzzle. I started my arrangement in the spirit of reconstructing the original puzzle, breaking it down into its constituent phases, that putting it back together in a new order. On top of that, the battle is split up into 4 separate phases, so I had to make the arrangement for each phase fit with its own distinct character, while at the same time making sure the excitement and tension build up gradually as the phases progress. And it's a sick theme in that boss fight. Like, oh my goodness. It took a lot of work, I can tell. I took particularly care with Phase 3, where Sephiroth shows his wing for the first time, and players party all come together, making the start of the fierce final confrontation. I felt this was the point I needed to raise the player's excitement level to its peak. Decided to do that by bringing in the timpani drums from the introduction, the most distinctive phrase from the whole track. Then I worked back to creating the whole composition. Nothing will really come of it, I would say this. But in the end, my personal favorite version of One Winged Angel is the original one. So he likes the original one even though he made this one. Cool. However, I do think I achieved what I set out to do here and create a worthy remake of the track would not bring shame to my memories of it. Oh man, it's so sick. One more drink, guys. It's a long one. The attacks Cloud uses on Sephiroth here meant to resemble Omnislash from the original Final Fantasy VII, and later shown in Advent Children. What were the concepts behind the scenes of this heated battle scene? I will leave the actual names and background behind the techniques he uses here to players' imagination. Alright, I see ya. We did not envisage having a scene where Cloud and Sephiroth face off in a duel when we started development, but we're very excited while making it. At the start of the scene, we deliberately make the camera angle movement similar to the one of the two of them fought in the original Final Fantasy VII, in order to make them reminiscent of the original game, which is shot for shot, beat for beat, guys. Then it moves on to the action part, showing Cloud dauntlessly struggling against all-powerful Sephiroth. We consulted with a sword fight choreographer, who offered an opinion because of the difference in reach of their weapons. Cloud had a little chance of winning if he tried to fight at a distance. Accordingly, we went on to the choreograph to have Sephiroth parrying and evading attacks, while Cloud continues to try to press in and fight at close quarters. We appear to be fairly even match contest, but Sephiroth is not actually being pressed very hard here. Yeah, that makes sense. That's still a 6 shot. Thank you for sharing your memories and thoughts working on a remake. Is there anything you'd like to say to fans who've been reading this whole blog series? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the juicy meat. I want to read this whole chapter thing because I thought it's something we need to read. Thank you for sharing your memories and thoughts and working. Okay, yada yada. As it says at the end of the game, the unknown journey will continue, and Cloud and his friends will be on that journey for a while yet. From here on, the Whispers cannot act to maintain the destined timeline, so fans can look forward to seeing what kind of future awaits them. Yeah, they're teasing, guys. They're teasing. Thank you for sticking with us all the way through the blog series. The development team are currently working hard at work on the second game, in which the story moves away from Midgar and expands out onto a world map. It's not just a story. I will be working day and night to ensure that the game design also offers an even more thrilling ride and is packed with even more surprises than the first game. I am very grateful for being given the opportunity to send my message out to all the fans. We hope you enjoyed this reading this chapter of Final Fantasy VII Revisited and the series as a whole. Many thanks to the devs for sharing the insight with all across chapter 18. It's available, yada yada yada. So let's talk about it a little bit. Yeah, that was great. Definitely, this right here, I want to talk about real quick, like, right here. I'm going to highlight it so you guys can read it too, just in case. Now, it's Toriyama. So, anyways, so I'm going to highlight all this, right? All this right here, guys, this is what it means. From here on out, the story's going to go whatever direction it's going to go in. It does not have to stay on the true path of remake. I mean, the Final Fantasy VII story. To me, this tells me that the Whispers cannot act to maintain the destined timeline. So, what does that mean? We're going to expect to see changes, guys. I know they said the story of Final Fantasy VII will still be there. We're still going to hit the major beats. But now, the Whispers can't stop it. Like, if something goes a little off, like, if somebody lives that shouldn't live, or maybe they die in a different way, well, guess what? It's going to happen. What does that mean for everything else? Because I tell you what, it says not just a story I will be working night and day, the thrilling ride is packed with even more surprises than the first game. So if you think the first game with 18 chapters gave us a bunch of surprises, guys, we are not done yet. Rebirth, like I've been telling a few people in my server and talked to a few people about this game. Rebirth is going to be massive. Rebirth is going to have a lot of new twists and turns to it. I know I did say that it's going to follow the Final Fantasy VII story, but this has confirmed that I am not right. I thought it was going to follow like the major beats of the game without any changes on that front. Just a story of Zack, but not anymore. This confirms that we're going to see some new stuff, a lot of new surprises. So with Rebirth being super massive, we're going to see a lot more surprises according to them. And this is huge. This is like news that we all want to know. Like, alright Square, you said this is like unknown journey will continue. Like, then you come out in July after the trailer, and you had all the interviews and stuff like that saying, hey, the story, it will stay the same, and you don't have to worry about it, nothing's going to be omitted. But now you're confirming this. Like, this to me right now, because with Toriyama and Hamaguchi, they're both stating here that the story that we all know and love is going to change, right? They're going to change. They're going to stay bold. They're not going to back down from everybody saying, well, we can't mess around with the story. Can't mess around with the timeline. Sorry, guys. The Whispers are dead. Okay? They can't stop them. So, is Aerith going to live and die? We don't know anymore. We don't know. But they said that the story beats are going to hit, but they're going to change a little bit. Does that mean that Aerith is going to die? Who knows? She might. She might live. What about Zack? My theory was that he's a cure. He's a cure of what's going on. He was his cure because he's immune to Genova's cells reaction. I could see him being the final piece, the end all, right? The end all and all that. A lot of people say, well, this just means that Sephiroth is going to win in the end. Who knows? If Sephiroth wins in the end, that's the end of Final Fantasy VII as we know it, right? Sephiroth gets his glory. He finally wins. The party dies. That's it. Final Fantasy VII will never be the same. They could go that route, but I don't think they will. I don't think they're bold enough to make the party die. They're gonna have to find a way to break the cycle. How do you break the cycle? It's probably with Zack. Why do you think Zack's alive? But this is bold. This is big. I just want to share my thoughts on it and read this whole article because I knew it's gonna be juicy. There's a lot of juicy parts in this. A lot of juicy parts because I'm telling you guys, now I'm not so sure where the story's gonna go. Really not sure. I thought we're gonna hit all the major beats, but we probably will. But a lot of things are gonna be changed. There's gonna be a lot of surprises. We are still a little over a year away before this game comes out, and I'm really excited. I hope we get another trailer before the year is done, but I'm not sure. But with that said, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of all this. What you guys think of this statement right here. This statement right here. I got highlighted. What you guys think? Are you guys like more nervous? Are you guys just say, you know what? I'm glad to put their foot down and making a game that they set out they're gonna do, and I'm all for it. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and subscribe and like the video, share with a friend if you guys want more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth remake news, updates, reviews, reactions, whatnot. Feel free to like, subscribe, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for love and support as always. I will cover more on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I do have some more videos I want to do. Until then, you guys be safe out there and be nice to each other. I love you guys so much. As always, I can't say that enough. God bless you guys. Thank you for love and support on this channel. We are at 191 subscribers. I can't do it without you. And with that said, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.